coming up on BCN today. It was a record-breaking day for Care from the Heart, as their goal was surpassed by over $100,000. Plus, Lethbridge becomes the first municipality in Alberta to offer a green burial. We tell you what that means. And a warning about how you can be arrested for your children's online behavior.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this Valentine's Friday. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says there's no quick fix to the dispute over the Coastal GasLink natural gas pipeline in British Columbia. He says there are many challenges and obstacles to overcome in the dispute that has sparked Indigenous protests on rail lines across the country, but that all parties must move towards reconciliation. As the protests continue, the federal and provincial transport ministers are set to meet today with Indigenous leaders in Toronto. They're hoping to negotiate an end to the protests and get freight and passenger service restored. Upon landing in Germany after an extended tour of Africa, Justin Trudeau said he's concerned about rail blockades and wants the rule of law upheld.
Obviously, this is a situation we're following very closely. I have had a long and constructive conversation with Premier Horgan on the flight. I know Mr. Darno is going to give you an update soon back home.
CN Rail confirms a rail blockade set up 4 days ago on the line into Prince Rupert, BC, was lifted overnight. First Nations leaders suggested that would happen if federal and provincial politicians agreed to meet to discuss solutions to the ongoing dispute over construction of the natural gas pipeline through the Wet'suwet'en traditional land. Foreign Affairs Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne says that he and Prime Minister Trudeau met with Iran's foreign minister today in Munich to discuss the investigation into the downing of a Ukrainian passenger jet. Champagne later told reporters he thinks there's progress on getting Iran to hand over the plane's black box for analysis. Canada is demanding that Iran allow a full and transparent investigation into how 2 Iranian missiles were fired at the airplane, causing it to crash moments after takeoff from the Tehran airport last month. At least 63 of the passengers were Canadian citizens, and of the 176 passengers on board the Kiev-bound flight, 138 of them were to catch connecting flights to Canada. Canadian health workers are in Japan to help the 12 Canadians who contracted the novel coronavirus aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship. The ship is still quarantined in Yokohama, but today Japanese officials let 11 elderly people off so they could serve their final days of quarantine on land. Our Foreign Affairs Minister says 3 members of the Public Health Agency of Canada and 2 medical personnel from the Canadian Armed Forces are in Yokohama. Meanwhile, life goes on for those who are still in quarantine on that ship. Daily life on the Diamond Princess cruise ship includes fear, excitement, and soul-crushing boredom as passengers are waiting to be released.
Really, it's kind of an introvert's dream here. I don't have to get dressed in the morning. I can sit out on the balcony. I can read all day.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay. I'm okay.
My grandson Riley said, you've been thrown a bunch of sour lemons, and then he followed it up by saying, you learned how to make nice sweet lemonade, And I feel, it's not only my attitude, but it's also his attitude or the family attitude that's helping us through this all.
Senior Chinese official reports more than 1,700 Chinese medical workers have been infected by the new coronavirus. 6 of the workers have died. China says the virus has killed nearly 1,400 people. There were 851 cases, that is, by the end of day yesterday. That's up more than 5,000 cases from Wednesday. And closer to home, Lethbridge police have a warning about an increase in cell phone thefts from retailers, which are then being sold to unsuspecting buyers online. The most recent incident was the Telus store in Park Place Mall being robbed of more than $9,000 worth of phones. Police advise you to always ask the seller for the phone's serial number or the mobile equipment identity number that can be checked online.
Make sure that if you're going to purchase a phone online or through social media, that you check the IMEI number, and then you can do that through devicecheck.ca. If you are certain that you want to purchase this phone, you can always use the LPS Safe Zone Exchange stall out front. And you know, it's always a good idea to bring a friend along and make sure that you have somebody else there with you. And again, if you feel that the purchase is too good to be true, then it's probably the fact, so be careful with that.
The Lethbridge Watch program now has a new leader at the helm. He is retired Lethbridge Police Inspector Jeff Cove. The Watch is mostly made up of volunteers who walk the downtown core 7 days a week to provide a new layer of safety by serving as a visible presence. They also help connect people with the police, EMS, or social services. Cove, who is retired from the LPS in 2014, has been a volunteer with the Watch program since it launched last May.
It's about growth in the program. So finding volunteers, finding team leads, getting them trained, getting them out there, building those relationships, providing opportunities for those relationships to flourish and blossom and create that level of perception of safety in our downtown area. That's one of the key things that's out there right now, is lots of people feel that they're not safe in certain areas of the city, and with the Watch people that are there providing all the services that they do, the de-escalation of sometimes we see people with who have bad behavior in the downtown area. Sometimes the de-escalation helps finding the connection to the proper social services that they require.
Cove says as manager, he will still be out on the street with his team from time to time. The city of Lethbridge is proud to be the first municipality in Alberta to offer a more sustainable and environmentally friendly burial option called green burial. A green burial minimizes the impact on the environment by returning a body to the earth where it can decompose naturally and contribute to the growth of new life. According to the city's cemeteries manager, Hiroshi Okubo, there is no embalming fluid involved. Remains are wrapped in a natural and biodegradable cloth and placed directly in the ground, allowing nature to take over. Green burials will take place at the Greensland Green Burial Grounds located in the Royal View Memorial Cemetery in North Lethbridge. Members of the Alberta Union of Provincial Employees joined their fellow healthcare workers at Chinook Regional Hospital Thursday. It was part of a province-wide rally that was organized by the United Nurses of Alberta. Union members say it was a show of solidarity from healthcare workers who are taking issue with public sector wage cuts.
We feel that the government's potential moves to privatize healthcare is short-sighted, and it won't benefit Albertans. In fact, we feel that it would make it much more difficult for Albertans to access the services they need when they need it most. Getting the message out to Albertans, it's about getting the message out to the people in our community that we want their support, that we're looking out for everybody's best interests.
People are going to die, so and I don't think that people want that. People aren't prepared to take care of their loved ones at home.
The reports that the government received, they want to privatize all or parts of home care, which is concerning for us because it's again going to go into the hands of for profit. When you put another hand in the pot, they have to make money, and they should be making money. I would love public health care to say public. A story I can tell you is my mom and dad lived in Saskatchewan before the public health care, and their family had to sell the car because my grandmother needed a surgery. They did not have a family car for 5 years because of that.
Other rallies also took place in Calgary, Red Deer, Edmonton, and St. Albert. Well, not only is it Valentine's Day today, but if you like biking, this is also your day. Today is the 8th annual Winter Ride Your Bike to Work Day. And yes, it is winter, but BCN's Loris Alexander spent time with one father-daughter cyclist tag team who comes out rain or shine, snow or sleet, to put the pedal to the pavement.
If Goldilocks were a bike commuter, she might never make it to work or school in Lethbridge. Some days would be too hot, other days too cold. Don't be like her. Be like Bob and Abigail Higgins.
It's a great workout and physical activity. I don't have to take an hour out of my day and go to the gym. I can get that exercise, to and from school, and I think it's a great lesson and lifestyle lesson for my daughter to grow up with.
Try it. It's always good to try something new.
If you ever want to get serious about riding your bike for transportation beyond winter ride your bike to work day, you're going to need the right clothes and an attitude that lets you find happiness in imperfect weather.
Winter riding, differs largely in comfort. I mean, it takes good warm clothing. The technical clothing options that we have today, and a lot of local retailers specialize in them in the wintertime, make outdoor extreme temperatures far more comfortable than most imagine.
And about that attitude adjustment, that's not just for cyclists.
There's lots of great people out there that appreciate and give room and respect and add safety to cyclists. And there's, unfortunately, in our city and in our part of the world, there's lots that aren't.
Do you want to hurt people? Do you want to be a really mean person? If you be a mean person, you'll have a worse life later.
Still a skeptic about cycling? Well, this little commuter tells us that biking in the winter is not only possible, it might even make your frigid morning commute a little brighter.
Get out there, ride your bikes. You'll be happier once you do.
For Bridge City News, I'm Loris Alexander.
Wise words to live by. And it was a record-breaking day for the Care from the Heart event. Local radio stations joined forces at the Chinook Regional Hospital Thursday for the 11th annual Radioathon. 6 stations took part in raising money for the hospital and its patients. $352,000 was raised this year, surpassing the initial goal of $250,000. Most of the money is going to support mental health initiatives through the Chinook Regional Hospital Foundation. Various businesses had their own fundraising goals for the event.
This year, Costco had a goal of $65,000 to raise for Care from the Heart, and we ended up raising $89,000 through all our member support and our business sponsors. Since we had the biggest increase in Western Canada, Costco Corporate Canada gave us an extra $100,000 donation to give to Care from the Heart and our local hospital here. So the donation is triggered towards all the kids at the hospital. Costco really wants to be involved with the kids, whether it's mental health, anything that has to do with operation, day procedure. We're all structured around the kids.
If you would like to donate, you can still do so by visiting the Care from the Heart website. A 39-year-old man from Lethbridge who was accused of luring and assaulting a 13-year-old girl 2 years ago will remain in police custody. Gary James Lippo, who will stand trial in Lethbridge next week, is facing charges of luring, sexual assault, making and accessing child pornography. Back on February 22nd of 2018, police received information that Lippo was engaged in sexualized online chats with an underage girl. Police alleged nude photos were exchanged and a number of computers and electronic devices were seized from the home. The trial will begin with a jury selection and is scheduled to run until the end of the month. The internet is a scary place, especially when it comes to predators targeting our children. Charlene Doak-Gebauer is the founder of Internet Sense First and the author of The Internet, Our Children in Charge. She says parents really need to keep tabs on their kids and monitor what they're doing with their cell phones.
They're taking pictures of themselves nude, sending them, and even though it's their body, they're producing and distributing child pornography, which then the parents own, because essentially the parents own the cell phone. And when I talk to parents about that, they say, "You mean we're responsible?" Yes, you are, for a minor's activities, but they cannot own a cell phone until they're 18. So therefore it is your plan, your phone.
Charlene Doak-Gebauer will have more on how you can protect your family from the dangers of the online world. That's coming up in the second half of our show. For our Valentine's weather, we could see a 30% chance of showers or flurries, but then clearing for Saturday. I'll have a full look at our Family Day long weekend weather forecast coming up right after the break.
Today's weather highlights are brought to you by Aqua Steam Services. For award-winning carpet and upholstery cleaning, experience the clean difference with Aqua Steam Services.
And here we go with our weather highlights for today and tomorrow in Lethbridge. Now today we could see a 30% chance of showers or flurries this afternoon and wind. Lots of wind for this Valentine's Day, gusting to 70 kilometers per hour, high of 3 degrees, low of -3 overnight, but feels like -11 with the wind chill. Into tomorrow we're going to see the plus temperature 5 degrees for Saturday and also a chance of large wind gusts there, 70 kilometers per hour. Into Sunday, chance of flurries, high of 0 remaining for Monday. And then we're going to drop in temperature -5 for Tuesday. And then we're going to climb into the pluses again. Wednesday's high 9 and Thursday's high 10 degrees. We should see lots of sunshine with some scattered clouds there too as well. Now the average highs and lows this time of year, the high has actually increased to 2 degrees. The average low -11. The high temperature on this day was back in 1971. It was 13 degrees. And the chilliest day on record was -32. It was back in 1978. The sun rose this morning at 7:44 a.m. and it will be setting at 5:47 p.m. So look at that. We actually have 10 hours of daylight these days. So looking to the highs across the nation, Victoria and Vancouver's high today, 9 degrees. Chance of showers in Vancouver. Chance of flurries in Edmonton and Calgary today. -2 is the high expected in Edmonton and 3 degrees expected over in Calgary. Now, in the rest of the prairies, we are seeing chances of snow up in Saskatoon, -5 the high, -2 in Regina. Not too bad considering what they had last week. -8 is the high in Winnipeg today with a chance of flurries. Now, we did have an extreme cold warning in effect for Toronto and Ottawa earlier this morning. That should be lifting by this afternoon. -8 the high for Toronto, -17 for Ottawa, and -14 for Montreal. Lots of sunshine in this region. And over into Atlantic Canada, sunshine in Fredericton as well, -14 the high, -15 expected today in Charlottetown with a chance of flurries. Flurries also expected in Halifax today with a high of -9, and -10 will be the high over in St. John's, Newfoundland. There you go. Up next, Hal Roberts with this ski report.
Here is the BCN ski report. No new snow over the past 24 hours on any of the ski resorts reporting in, but at Marmot Basin they have a 134 centimeter base. Castle Mountain has a base of 232 centimeters. Sunshine Village a base of 170. Lake Louise has a 162 centimeter base. 91 centimeters reporting in at Mount Norquay. Nikiska is coming in at 124 centimeters for a base. No fresh powder in Whistler, but they still have a solid 242 centimeter base. Panorama checks in with a 124 centimeter base. Whitefish, Montana, a 279 centimeter base. Stay safe and enjoy skiing this Family Day long weekend.
For today's daily life hack, you might want to clear this with your manager at work before trying. Do you find it cold in the office, but the maintenance crew has locked the thermostat? No problem. Head to the break room and fill a bag with ice. Drop it on top of the thermostat lockbox, and after a few short minutes, it will be tricked into turning on again because the ambient temperature around the thermometer will be lower. Letting it drop just a couple of degrees should do the trick. Now, just don't get into trouble at work. There you go. That's been your daily life hack. If your Valentine's Day plans include seeing a movie tonight or this weekend, here's a preview of what's happening on the big screen. It's Len Binning with another Movie Mill Minute.
Robert Downey Jr. stars in Doolittle. The eccentric famed veterinarian is forced to travel to an exotic island to find a cure for the young queen who is taken gravely ill.
We've no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
Everyone pack your bags!
You can talk to animals.
Somehow, wit
Parasite, a very unique, very original film, and winner of this year's Best Picture, Best International Picture, Best Screenplay, and Best Director.
주전대 착하다니까. 진짜 니가 착한 거지.
근데 지금 진짜로 이상한 게 뭔 것 같아.
Well, we do have a long weekend in front of us, and the province announced that for Family Day on Monday, admission fees will be waived at various museums and historic sites across Alberta. Some of those locations include Frank Slide Interpretive Center in the Crow's Nest Pass, Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump in Fort Macleod, the Remington Carriage Museum in Cardston, and the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller. The province will also have weekend events planned at the legislature in Edmonton. Former Premier Don Getty introduced the Family Day Act in 1989. The annual statutory holiday officially came into effect in 1990. This year marks the 30th anniversary of Family Day in Alberta, and let's hope you make it a great one. And this might make a good last-minute Valentine's gift. Samsung has unveiled a new foldable phone called the Galaxy Z Flip. The new phone can unfold from a small square upward into the form of a traditional smartphone. It goes on sale today, Valentine's Day, for around $1,400.
Phones are a part of our everyday lives, but this is no ordinary smartphone. It changes everything. When I'm ready to use it, all I have to do is flip it open, and I get a full-size 6.7-inch screen with hardly any bezel. The Galaxy Z Flip is a new kind of device to kick off a new decade of Samsung innovation, and we can't wait to see what you do with it.
And Valentine's Day is a good opportunity to strengthen your financial commitment to your partner or to show yourself some love by increasing your own financial security.
So whether you're single or in a partnership, Valentine's Day is a really good time to think about taking care of yourself and also your partner. So it's a time to step back and talk with your partner about what your long-term goals are with your money. Because if you can get on the same page, it's easier to plan and to make sure you meet those goals. So it's a really good idea to set aside time when you're not rushed, you're not busy, and you both know you're going to talk about your money goals. And then think about what are you good at with money? Where do you need to improve? What do you want to do with your money, whether it's going on a vacation or maybe saving more, making a down payment on a house one day. Whatever those goals are, you want to make sure you get on the same page with your partner.
Up next, Hal Roberts chats with our legislative reporter, Tyler Dawson, who explains why Premier Jason Kenney says the recent pipeline protests in BC are just a dress rehearsal for much bigger ones. That interview is coming up, but first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. All are welcome to a Valentine's dance being held Friday, February 14th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Moose Hall in Lethbridge. Music will be provided by Faye Stevens. Admission is $10 per person. A cash prize of $50 and other door prizes will be given away during the evening. Bring the one you love and dance the night away. The Southern Alberta Antique and Classic Automobile Club is hosting its annual Early Bird Swap Meet Saturday, February 15th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Exhibition Park. Filling all 4 pavilions, discover interesting antiques, collectibles, memorabilia, and other treasures. Admission is $5, and those under 16 can enter for free. For more information, call 403-381-6971. Celebrate Family Day at the Galt Museum and Archives for their second annual free pancake brunch. Taking place on February 17th beginning at 10 a.m., come and enjoy delicious pancakes, music, crafts, and games. Admission is free. For more information, visit galtmuseum.com/events. And that's your Bridge City News community calendar.